Hey Joe, how you doing?
Good, good. How you doing?
Good, good. Who's today? Who are we doing today?
We have the friend of the show, Nick Pletcher, the
Ha,
creator, the
nice.
creator of Soap Hockey, the big boy soap hockey tournament.
I know it's hilarious. Nick's awesome. I love Nick.
Nick's a great guy. I'm not going to pretend like this is not a biased interview. Obviously, Quotable
I
Media
agree.
is a sponsor of Soap Hockey. My wife's Just Travel is a sponsor of Soap Hockey. So, this is going to be a softball for Nick for sure.
Well, I don't know. We can throw him some curveballs maybe and make it funny.
Yeah,
Kind of like we're working on the vibe check right now, and these are actually ridiculous. Some of these things that you've come up with
yeah.
here.
I,
What is what is number nine? Are you ladder people? I don't even know what that means.
Are you ladder people? That means nothing. And ChatGPT came up with it, and it even admitted that it means nothing, but it says it will be revealing the answer.
All right, well let's keep it in because I,
Let's
I have I have a feeling anybody else this wouldn't work with, but I think Nick would like that.
These are great. Do you trust squirrels? I
I
don't.
actually do trust squirrels, by the way,
I
if you're
kind of
asking me.
do. I kind of do. I think these are going to be great. Once he's in, we'll join him in. But I'm actually kind of looking forward to talking to him about
Yeah.
this new season. This is the second season of soap hockey, and it's airing on ESPN. So it gets bigger every year. I'm really interested in it.
It's a ridiculous concept that I love very, very much because there's a lot of craziness with it. As with most things that Nick does.
Yeah, absolutely.
My dog wants to get in on this too, by the way.
Nice, nice. Oh, well, Nick's in. Let's start the show.
5 years ago, I had a bachelor party. We're kind of like a sportsy group, so I was trying to figure out something we could do, something fun, something unique. So I was looking online. I couldn't find anything that was clicking. I saw like slip and slide kickball where you kick the ball and then like to go to first base, you go down slip and slide. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But in the related videos, there was like this video from like Sweden. I click it and sure enough, it's soap hockey. And I was like, oh, that would be fun. So I surprised the guys at my bachelor party. I brought it out. I'm like, yo, we're going to play soap hockey. Well, it was going to be like a 2-hour thing, and then we were going to go get dinner, but we ended up playing like until like 8:30 or something until it got dark, and we were like hooked immediately. I reached out to ESPN, who I've, made a relationship with now at this point, and was like, hey, I think I got a really good ESPN 8 idea. We filmed this proof of concept. It came out really nice, and I sent it to ESPN, and the next day they were like, this is greenlit. Apparently it went over well at ESPN, and they wanted us back for season 2, and we just shot that 2 weeks ago.
All right, welcome to the show, Nick Pletcher, the owner of a soap hockey tournament on ESPN 8, the Ocho. How you doing, Nick?
Hey, doing good.
We were just talking in the intro, and John and I were saying this is going to be such a layup for you. This is the biggest softball interview you've ever done. I said Quotable is a sponsor. Just Travel is a sponsor. It's like this is the most biased interview in the history of interviews.
I feel media trained now too, because I've done like the news, I've done radio, I've done the newspaper with this. So
Yeah, I saw your radio interview. That's cool, man. I've
yeah,
always wanted to do that.
yeah, that was crazy. They just they talk a lot, and you just got to try to squeeze in what you can with that.
And they're such pros, they just
Yeah,
can just rattle off just vamping for minutes at a time. That's
I
not something
know.
I could do, not at all.
Yeah, no.
Well, John, do you want to start off the show with the vibe check?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so Nick, we do something called a vibe check, which basically kind of tells us what kind of person you are, kind of gets a sense of who you are. And these are this or that type questions
Okay.
that we've creatively come up with using ChatGPT. So I can't really vouch for any of them, but we're going to go ahead and start. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Soup or sandwich?
Sandwich.
Sandwich every time.
Yeah, I
Soup's
figured
just a
I
drink.
mean, who has soup?
Soup's a drink in a bowl. I'm not a dog.
that. Number 2, cape or trench coat?
Oh.
I feel like these
Hey.
are really tailored for you.
Yeah, cape. I'm going cape. I mean, I'm going to get soaked, but it looked better.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Are you a menace in Costco?
No, I don't need to go to Costco. I mean, I don't need a 3-gallon bottle of ketchup.
I figured you were a menace in Costco. I don't know why. It's
What is
very
it? Wait, what is a
middle-aged
menace?
dad.
What does a menace in Costco mean? Are those the people that just block the way every time?
Yeah, I don't know. Just put just stuff in their carts with huge quantities of food that they're never gonna finish.
No. All right, number 4. What animal judges you?
An animal that judges me?
Mm-hmm.
I guess my dogs. I mean, they probably see me do a lot of stuff and judge me.
I don't want to know what those dogs see.
They're gonna write a book one day.
Yeah.
All right. Big hat or tiny car?
Big hat or tiny car? I don't want a tiny car. I'll take a big hat. I got a big head, so it might fit.
Perfect.
Yeah, I feel like that's right for you. Here's a good one. Do you trust squirrels?
Do I trust squirrels? No, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, anything that moves like that, you can't trust.
These questions are supposed to be revealing in some way. I don't know what the hell
I
they
feel like
reveal.
I'm learning more. Well,
No,
here's a
learning
good one though. It's not. What food is suspicious?
Of suspicious food. Pho is kind of suspicious because you got all this stuff on the surface and it's like, what's below that? You know, you never know until you start digging in there. So as soon as you get it, it's a little suspicious. You don't fully know what you're getting.
That's true. Plus, it's also a soup, and we already know you like sandwich, so things are moving along.
Exactly.
All right, number 8. Do you clap when the plane lands?
No. A small part of me is sad that it didn't crash.
I'm not a plane clapper either. That's
All right,
No.
no. Who is? God.
no.
Yeah.
All right. Number 9 is we actually discussed this before you got on, and we have no idea what it means, so we're going to ask you anyway. Are you ladder people?
What
Are
is
you
that?
ladder people?
Do I like ladders? Do I partake in
Interpret it any
ladders?
way you want. It's just what ChatGPT gave us, but are you ladder people, Nick?
I am ladder people. I like ladders. I use them to get on my roof. I use them to change light bulbs. So I am ladder people.
Awesome.
All right. Number 10, the final one. This one is soap hockey related.
Okay.
What is the one rule you had to create because one specific idiot made it necessary?
I know exactly which one, because my brother could tell you about this. He gets so upset with this. So soap hockey's 3v3. And most of the time you set it up where you kind of got 2 people trying to score and 1 person playing defense. And that defender, there's been a couple people that think they're a goalie, not a defender. So they're literally grabbing the ball with their hands like a glove and like moving it like a goalie would. And we've really had to try to get people to stop doing that. So that we had to create a rule where like you cannot hold the ball, and we got to get even stricter because it was still a problem this year. So
this is the second year.
Yeah.
You're going to be on ESPN 8, the Ocho again. Tell me, let's go back in time. Tell me the beginnings of it and how it was even created, and explain it for the audience since they don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah. So soap hockey is basically 3v3 hockey played on a huge 30 by 40 foot tarp that we dump a bunch of soap and water on, and it kind of simulates ice, but it's way worse. You cannot keep your balance on it. But yeah, it's like hockey on a big slip and slide. And 5 years ago to this day I had a bachelor party up in North Georgia, and we're not really ones to go out clubbing or go to the bars too much. So we're kind of like a sportsy group. So I was trying to figure out something we could do, something fun, something unique. We could play cornhole, or we could play, we could throw the football around, but I wanted to find something different. So I was looking online. I couldn't find anything that was clicking. I saw like kickball, like slip and slide kickball, where you kick the ball and then like to go to first base, you go down slip and slide. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I saw in the related videos, there was like this video from like Sweden, and the thumbnail was this big blue tarp, and somebody was playing hockey, and I'm like, what is that? And I click it, and sure enough, it's soap hockey. And it's these guys playing soap hockey on this huge soap-filled tarp, and I was like, oh, that would be fun. And I did some research. Their comments kind of told you like their tarp size and stuff. And so I went on Amazon, I got all the supplies, and I surprised the guys at my bachelor party. I brought it out. I'm like, yo, we're going to play soap hockey. And everybody was unsure at first, but we found a little spot right by the river, and we set up the tarp, and we put up goals, and we played. And it was going to be like a 2-hour thing, and then we were going to go get dinner, but we ended up playing like until like 8:30 or something till it got dark. And then the next day we just played all day too. We completely scrapped our plans. We were like hooked immediately because it was just so fun. And the spot we chose was terrible though. I mean, it was rocks, roots. It was right by the river, so constantly the ball's going in the river, and people are jumping in the river to go get it. But I mean, it was a blast. So that's what hooked us initially.
We used to call when you first came up with it, we used to make fun of it and call it ACL tear ball.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're just slipping. But I mean, you've made a good point before. It's actually kind of less injury averse because of the way you fall. Explain that.
Well, yeah, and my brother's a physical therapist, so this isn't just bro science. There's actually some real science behind this. If you're on the tarp, usually how you tear your ACL is your foot kind of gets stuck and your knee keeps going, so that ACL tears. But with this, your foot can't get stuck; it's sliding. So if your body and the top of your leg wants to go this way, the bottom of your leg's going to follow. Now, all this to be said, I may have torn my MCL this past
Oh my God.
tournament, but that was because this like 250 pound guy jumped and fell on me while I was on the ground, and he fell on my knee. So I got to go get an MRI later today actually to see if it's torn, but it might be okay.
Well, this brings up a question that I had is what's your insurance situation for this?
Well, because we're with ESPN, we have their insurance, so I go
nice.
through Disney's insurance, and they're pretty good about it. And then, of course, all the players sign their life away with a waiver, so
Well,
I can't
tell me how
control.
you got on to ESPN, because you started just playing with your friends. How in the hell does it go from there to what it is today, a full-on tournament?
Yeah, so I work as a video producer as well, and I live up here in Atlanta. And like a few years past my bachelor party, I started getting some work from ESPN. I was shooting some B-roll for them at some NCAA like college tournaments and championships. So I kind of got some contacts with them. I made a good name for myself with them, and then they had an ESPN 8 the Ocho shoot in Atlanta for a big wheels race. Big wheels are those like big tricycles with the big wheels that adults can ride on. They had like a big wheels race in Atlanta at this local town, and I went there and produced it and got a camera crew together and shot and edited the whole thing. And while we're sitting there filming it, I'm looking at my buddies and I'm like, I think we got a way better sport than this, because we're just watching grown men like go in a circle with tricycles, and we're like, oh, we got a good sport here. So I reached out to ESPN, who I've made a relationship with now at this point, and was like, hey, I think I got a really good ESPN 8 idea. Told them about soap hockey. They were interested. I was waiting to hear something, waiting to make it official, and I could tell the responses were getting less and less often. So I was like, I think I need to like show them what this is. So I reached out and was like, hey, can I go shoot a proof of concept and show you guys it to show you what this kind of would look like? And they said, oh, that'd be great. I'm trying to get everybody on board, but some people I'm not sure quite get it yet, or maybe they don't want to give me a full thing to myself. So I went down that December 2024. I went down to Tampa. That's where we always film it, because that's where I got all my buddies and a lot of contacts down there. So we drive down there. We film this proof of concept. It turned out really good, with no crowd, with missing a lot of elements, but the bones were there, and it came out really nice. And I sent it to ESPN, and the next day they were like, "This is greenlit. We're going to get you the contract. We want this." And then that summer of 2025, I went back down to Tampa. We filmed the first season of The Real Thing with, a crowd, with food trucks, with a drum line, all this stuff. And we've got the first season in the books. They loved it. Apparently it went over well at ESPN and did good on their broadcast. And they wanted us back for season 2. And we just shot that 2 weeks ago. So yeah.
Tell me about the upgrade in season 2. What did we add this year?
Yeah, doing the first season was super helpful because once it all comes together, you could immediately see like the holes or what could be better or what's lacking. And I knew immediately I wanted to get more like player personality involved. So like one thing we came up with was a smack talk cam. So anytime somebody scores now, a little version of that person pops up, says some smack talk line. We have like player intros. And we just did a lot more to get more player personality in the show. We also felt like in that 10-minute game, there were some lulls because soap hockey could be kind of slow because it's not like hockey where you're sprinting up and down. You can't on the soap. So it's a little slower. So we need to figure out ways to keep the energy up. So we came up with like a bunch of new elements. We came up with a power up that teams could use on the other team. That includes giving the other team pool noodles instead of sticks, giving them a blindfold. One player has to wear a blindfold on their team. Mini sticks, ankle weights, all these things that we were using against each other to help make that more exciting. And then the first year we had power players, which is where like a hockey influencer that has a way higher skill level than us gets to come on for a minute and basically destroy us. We changed that to 2 minutes, so now it's like 2 minutes of that, which was more exciting. And then the last minute of the game, we changed to a bubble blitz, where the last minute of the game, all goals are worth 2 points. So you'll see in the second season that actually had some huge impact in the tournament. That worked out really well. And we, along with the player personality, we brought in some mascots to add flair to the whole thing. We added more comedy to the commentators. Before we had 2 like sports commentators, and they were great. But it was kind of like 2 straight men, doing the sports commentator.
You need your Bob Uecker or whatever.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
So we brought back one of them, and again, he was amazing this year. And then we brought in this comedian we know, and that added a lot. I mean, you could just listen to it and laugh a bunch. So a lot of awesome upgrades. We got a whole uniform sponsor. They designed uniforms from scratch for us. So the uniforms look amazing. I mean, I feel like everything was an upgrade. The location, we're on the water this year. It was all
Same
great.
teams? How many teams?
8 teams. And we change up the players within the team each year. Because we don't want it to get stagnant. And we don't want the same person winning every year. So we have a little committee that grades players, and then we try to make even teams. We like to give like grades out to players, like an A, B, C, or D, and we try to fill a team with an A, a B, and a C. That usually gets us pretty even. Or we'll do like an A, and then like a C grade player. So we try to keep it even, try to mix it up each year.
What was your marketing approach, your PR and your marketing approach? Because I know this year you've been on TV, you've had radio. How did you do that? Like what did you do?
Yeah, I mean, before it was always just like figuring out some social posts to do, and that does okay, whatever. But I really wanted to push this year for like a traditional marketing push. So, I mean, I was reaching out to every news station, every newspaper, radio shows to get the word out, especially in Tampa, because my focus this past month was like, let's get people out to the event.
Yeah.
When we get closer to the airing on ESPN in August, I'll probably try to do another push, maybe like in Atlanta or wherever I can. But I was very Tampa focused. So I was reaching out to everybody, and I wasn't getting many hits. And it's funny, I changed the header of my email to from bachelor party to ESPN. And suddenly that was like getting people's attention. And I got the Tampa Bay Times, which is like Tampa's like big newspaper, involved, and then it felt like a snowball after that.
Yeah.
Fox, NBC, CBS all did stories on us. There's another newspaper, the Osprey Observer, that picked us up, and then people were picking up the story. in Boston, I saw, in Atlanta. There's all kinds of news articles on us, like all these other newspapers, like on the East Coast mostly. It was incredible. And then radio, we got on their big radio station down there, and then NPR is doing a story on us that hasn't come out yet.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was awesome.
And it was really kind of all from just changing the approach of how you got in, right? Like what was your headline before, or your subject line before, versus what you put in there?
I think the first headline was like soap hockey is coming to Tampa or something like that for ESPN. But yeah, I changed it to that because I thought it is kind of a cool
the angle
story.
was really good.
It was
like
good.
you made it like a human interest story, and
Exactly.
you dropped ESPN on it, and now they think, oh my God, this kid, and it's true. You created something. Local Tampa man created a weird sport and got it on ESPN. It's a good story.
It is.
What's I know you just finished season 2. Tell me about when it's airing, and then tell me about future season 3 recordings and how you might approach it to get it even bigger. I assume you're trying to improve every year.
Oh yeah, definitely. So this season will air on ESPN 2. The weekend.
So not just ESPN 8. So now we're on ESPN 2.
Well, so ESPN 8 isn't a real channel. ESPN 8 takes over ESPN 2, and ESPN 2 like changes all its graphics to make it seem like it's a real channel. But
gotcha.
Okay.
ESPN 8 isn't a real channel. It's really just ESPN 2. So we'll be on ESPN 2. We don't know the exact time, but the weekend of August 7th, some point in there will be our premiere. But then ESPN News picks it up, and we air like 3 to 5 times a month on ESPN News. So there's so many. Every time it airs, I go online and I see, like on Twitter or Instagram, somebody posted a picture at a bar, and they're like, "What is this sport?"
I think I've seen it. I'm pretty sure
too.
I was out and I looked up and was, "Holy crap!" And it's
that's awesome. Yeah,
it's big boys
funny.
so puppy league.
But yeah, season 3. I'm sure they'll want us back. We have some like big investors in LA that I'm still talking to that want to like make it a full on its own show, like that plays year round. So that could be a possibility. I think we'll keep doing the ESPN thing. It's just so fun. But we're always looking for what could grow us more. Our shining star is like the Savannah Bananas. Baseball has that parody sport. Basketball had the Harlem Globetrotters. I don't really know if they're a thing anymore, but hockey certainly has never had like a parody sport like this. So, maybe there's some room in the market for us.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what do you think you're going to wind up adding to season 3? You got any? I know you can't give us too much IP, but like, what do you think? What would you love to have if you could?
I think it's hard because we checked off so many things we wanted to add this year, but that's one thing I've been trying to think, like what can we do to make it better, obviously.
You mentioned a halftime show and things like that. Did you wind up doing that this year or no?
No. And actually, yeah, that's a good point. One thing I want to focus on is making the event, because we don't put a ton of attention into the actual event. It's like all broadcast. We want to figure out how to make the best show for broadcast, because the event's not, not many people are watching it as they are on the broadcast. So, but I want to make the event better. I want to do get some kind of tunnel where we have the players come out, because that would make for great footage too.
Sure.
A halftime show would be great. We had a flyover this year. It just came we didn't exactly know when they were coming because of their schedule, so I couldn't plan like a national anthem timing with it. But I'd like to get that next year going. I know, I'd like to add more like comedy bits to it. Like if a player gets a penalty, they have to like step out, and we'll have one of our characters, the Sudster, go and like wash them because they're a dirty player. Or like I'd love to do a bit with like a stretcher where somebody gets hurt and 2 guys with a stretcher come out, but they can't stay up and they're dropping them and flopping them around. I'd love to add little bits into it because I think that'd make it funny on TV too.
Oh, I would love to watch that.
That would
absolutely.
be hysterical.
Yeah.
What do they win? What do you win if you win the tournament?
The big prize is the Golden Duck Trophy. I used to have it behind me, but yeah, it's basically a huge rubber duck that's gold, and it's on this nice little little base, and it's got little bubbles on it. And yeah, that's the big trophy each year.
Well, I don't know if you can tell me, but do we have a new champ this year, or did we repeat? Did the team repeat?
Yeah. I mean, it's on social who won already, but yeah, we had a repeat of the team. The Kings won again, but it's a completely different group of players. But yeah, the Kings won again.
So you have a little dynasty forming.
I know. Well, next year I'm gonna put the worst players on there, including me, just to make sure that they don't win again.
What's the ideal situation for this? Like, what's a 5-year plan look like for this for you?
Yeah, I want to see. I'll definitely I'll keep going on ESPN. I want to see where these producers out on the West Coast that have been talking to me, if this could become real, if they're serious about it. Because if that's the case, then it'll move fast. You know, I mean, we'll have our own TV show, and all of a sudden it's going to be this massive production. And they are talking about putting money into like touring too, like doing an obscure sports like tour
great.
with us as the headline. So, you know, if that gets moving 5 years from now, could look closer to Savannah Bananas, you know. And if not, then I would say I keep the ESPN train going while looking for other people that might be interested into putting money into it. You know, pitching it to studios or other things. I mean, even not like televised broadcast, the numbers on YouTube are insane. Like if you look at ESPN's numbers versus like Red Bull TV on YouTube, I mean, Red Bull TV will put some bicycle event, like they have this event where you go on a ramp and you go down a ramp and into the water, and it's for Red Bull, and it's funny and stuff. It's in the same vein as us, and they posted that like a month ago, and it's got like 36 million views already. So like, you know, there's so many avenues now, and I wouldn't be opposed to reaching out to anyone I could to see who'd be interested.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us, Nick. This has been great. I mean, we knew a lot of this information, but you know, our audience probably hasn't heard about soap hockey, so they're going to be interested in it, and I hope they watch it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. It was fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, man.